How you doing, all you beautiful sons of bitches? It's your boy Bex here, and today we got Gao and a whole new guest, so please say well, you know him of the channel, John Gets Gaming. Please give a warm welcome to John Gets himself. Say hello, John.
Hey, you got it right that time.
I did. Yes, this was the second recording, and we fucked up, so we had to start again. So,
You know, I always put my name and then I say, oh, it's pronounced like Gets though. So then eventually I was just like, why am I being so stupid? I'm just going to change my fucking YouTube name to just how it's pronounced. Just make it phonetic.
Anyway, so basically, we got a video here called Wannabe Grifter Tells Lies, No Surprises Here. So did either of you guys watch the freaking video that basically, I told everyone to watch here?
I did not.
Oh, okay, John.
Hell no. I was editing shit until the minute you just DM'd me.
Okay, well, anyway, so the whole freaking, premise of this video is that this gentleman, a new guy to the Backseat Boys Rogues Gallery, Gentleman Penguin, basically has beef with this YouTuber. I'm trying to find her name. I only saw her video like once before this as like homework for this. Where the hell is it? Her name is the lady he's gonna comment on. Her name is yes, I did come prepared for this. Critical diverse female. So basically, she made a video basically calling Amanda Stenberg out for being a massive bitch during the whole handling of the fucking backlash to Acolyte. And basically now Gentleman Penguin here is going to call her out for I don't know what reason. So are you guys ready for this or what?
Awesome. Let's get a raw reaction. Let's do it.
Raw reaction. Gao, you ready for a raw reaction?
Well, I'm pretty taken back by this disclaimer.
What? Do not use this video as an excuse to harass or bully anyone. Stay civil and keep any discussions of the video subject here in the comments section. Thank you for understanding. Okay,
how serious was this that he couldn't even spell check it? He wanted to get this out.
Really fucking serious. This is
person up.
This is serious business here. All right.
I just hope if the shills respond to any of us that they put a similar disclaimer, because surely they're the tolerant and classy ones. They would have no problem putting this ahead of their videos, right?
Yeah, real classy. Anyway, let's get on with it. John, play away.
All right.
Intended as targeted harassment. Only critique of rhetoric. Do not take this video as an excuse to attack or bully anyone. Thank you and enjoy.
No, I was going to do that anyway.
Acolyte wrapping up its run, the detractors of The Acolyte cheered its cancellation, while the fans of The Acolyte expressed anguish and disappointment.
All 12 people.
Okay, let me stop here for a moment.
Yeah.
The discourse surrounding this show has been so extreme and immense that it has.
I'm sorry. I
really like that Yoda thumbnail that I just missed it by a second.
You know what? Hang on, John. Go back like 10 seconds. What was it?
It was just, hang on. There it was, right at the bottom there. Oh shit, that was theory.
It's simple theory. Simple theory.
It's always critical drinker, like it's brought up.
It's always drinker.
It's always
neurotic, always everyone else in there. Yeah,
there's pitch meeting. Nobody calls him toxic.
Yeah, what the hell? Why does pitch meeting get a pass? What the hell, guys?
Because he usually makes it about like the producers or whatnot, and you know they're okay with that. You're allowed. That's the only person in Hollywood you're allowed to critique without fail is executives, as long as they're not Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, it's never the fault of the writers or directors, not at all.
Didn't Jeremy Janes get shit by one of these people too?
Jeremy Johns got shit whenever he reviewed the Matt Walsh film.
I'm not racist.
That was it.
Yeah, he got
also
like canceled
hated the Acolyte.
Well,
he did.
He also hated Rings of Power so much that he rage quit after episode 2. And
oh,
he never did
damn.
another video.
Wow.
Well, I remember the first time I remember Jeremy being based is Last of Us 2. He went him and you know what? It was probably the last time that I'll call Angry Joe good was whenever he went after Last of Us 2 and then got pissed at Sony because they were, blacklisting him and shit afterwards after he had praised a bunch of their games. And same thing with Jeremy. He was just kind of like, I
Jeremy
didn't
doesn't
like it.
What Jeremy doesn't get. Jeremy doesn't have to worry about that because he very rarely does video game stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. But considering The Last of Us is more of a cinematic kind of game, I suppose he decided to do it for that. You can still judge it on the story and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway.
Immense that it has become exhausting to even think about. Part of the reason for this is the usual suspect's constant content barrage intended to rile up its audience to continue the clicking off and engaging with videos from their YouTube channels, thus making them money and allowing them to continue the cycle. Unfortunately,
Yes,
the
rage
lucrative
bait.
nature presented here has been noticed by a
Well, I mean, I always say with rage bait the same way I say as far as positive praise. Make it entertaining, and sure I'll watch.
Yeah.
Have insights, and sure I'll watch. Like I don't watch low tier rage bait like what's his face, the guy who makes 10,000 videos a day, Mike Zero.
Mike Zero, yeah.
Yeah, like
me.
I watch. Yeah. Well,
No, just kidding.
I've watched yours.
I know you have, John. I know you have. Anyway.
But yeah, just like low effort. If it's just like parroting other people's points, that's boring shit. Have some funny shit to say. And I think positive is just as valuable as negative. It just depends on the show whether it warrants one or the other.
Yeah. Anyway.
a wave of smaller YouTube channels now trying to cut a slice of the proverbial cake and participate in the discourse. Keep in mind that the usual suspects
Discourse.
are motivated by racism and other forms of bigotry, hence why they overtly target people of color and women with their so-called critique.
Of
Check
course.
out Pillar of Garbage's video and the Birdman's videos
Oh,
on the
God.
topic for a
Wait, is he-
thorough dive. However, these usual suspects have learned through years of trial and error, mostly error, to hide their
Ooh.
I mean, that's kind of-
veiled and generalized.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the rock in the hard place, isn't it? Fucking Disney makes a show where like every actor is a minority, and then it's like, and just people get upset because they're criticizing specifically because they try to argue they're criticizing specifically the minorities of this show that has nothing but we can't say anything at all then.
Well, yeah, people use it as a shield. And I think that's half the reason why they do all these race swaps and shit is so that any sort of criticism, they can just pigeonhole it into, oh, you just didn't. What Molly Damon even explicitly said it. Even if somebody says they don't like the writing, she will assume that they are just sexist.
Yes.
She said, no, you don't dislike the writing. You just don't like that there's a woman in it. It's like, oh, so that's how you translate that in your brain. That's very interesting.
I know with Amazon, because I remember when Rings of Power first came out, I saw this little tidbit about Amazon I didn't know, which says they actually have a corporate policy for their division that makes all these streaming stuff and shows. That 50%, I think the number was like, they have an actual corporate policy for 50% of the cast of any project has to be female. So when they're doing like adaptions of stuff, that's why all these swaps happen, because they're literally trying to meet that quota.
And why any quota that doesn't have to do with like telling a better story, it's a BS quota. It's like, because that literally, let's say we made The Room into a half woman cast. Would it make it any better of a movie? And would everybody then have to not shit on it and have fun with shitting on it like they have? I mean, just because of that.
You say that, I actually would love that if they did a remake of The Room where they gender flipped everything.
The DEI room.
Oh, God.
I want to see. I can't think of like, God, what actress like would I even pick? Like
Zendaya.
Kate Blanchett plays the woman Tommy, and she's doing the "You are tearing me apart" scene.
Yeah.
And they would have a scissoring scene, but it would be misaligned, just like in the original room, where it looks like he's fucking the belly button.
No, like a full gender swap, where like Lisa's a dude now, like
Larry or whatever.
And it's Mark Wahlberg or something playing, and he's
What's going on? What's going on here?
What's going on? I don't.
Okay.
good.
I'm not like Kate Blanchett, Tommy Wiseau's. You're tearing me apart, and then Mark Wahlberg goes, "No, what? No, what? No,
What? No.
I'm an inventor. I'm trying to invent a new sex scene here.
Yeah, I'm an
As the
inventor. This could be a
4
game
reference.
changer for me. Yeah.
If any of these people had any kind of like intention of fun, they would greenlit shit like that. But
Yeah.
Oh, and just this is my first time like controlling the video, so just yell out pause if you want me to pause it.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Critiques. I've stated in a previous video that the best way to avoid being lumped in with these bigots is to elaborate and further
Bigots.
articulate upon one's talking points, as
By
they do not
goats.
possess the cognitive ability to do so. This finally brings me to today's subject. A little-known YouTuber by the name Critical Diverse Female, who made a video response to Amanda Stenberg's diss track aimed at the racist hate they were receiving.
Wait, grew up in a wealthy family, trained violinist, Hollywood actress employed by one of the largest companies in America.
Claims to be impressed.
So
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
This man is incredibly based. Everybody go follow him on whatever this is.
Yeah,
Instagram.
everyone go follow Sean D. Farley. Sean D. Farley, if you get a freaking boost in followers, it's because of us. You don't need to thank us.
The gentleman penguin and Amanda's tits pointing to your name have directed us here.
Yeah.
what's going
Yeah.
on with her neck and that?
I don't know.
GT, those are flooding me with intolerable racism since it took 72 hours on my laptop to make this. Oh, that's right. She preemptively said, I didn't really try.
Oh yeah, that
Took
explains
72
everything. You
hours.
made it. Yeah,
Oh,
you made
that-
it in 3 days. Yeah, that explains a lot. It took me 3 days to make this diss track. 3 days. Anyway.
3 days worth of hours. So that she probably made it over like weeks. She probably made it before the show even came out. She knew it was shit.
Oh, yeah, that explains a lot, actually, yeah. Yeah, she was preempting this.
So, let us take a listen to what this YouTuber had to say.
So the Acolyte has been cancelled. Shocking, I know.
Sounds like an AI
It's
voice.
pretty hilarious that the headlines about it are all saying
No,
how
she's
everyone
just
was
British.
so surprised that it got cancelled. Like it's not just lost
British
Disney,
people
it's shitload
struggle
of
to
money.
sound
There also
human.
seems to be this narrative going around that the only reason why people didn't like it is because the fan base is toxic and racist, which is erasing the love within the fan base from Mace Windu and Lando. And before they screwed up his character, I saw so much love for Finn. It was a repeated
If you want to make the
sentiment
argument of anyone
that
who's
his character-
racist, it's fucking Disney when they took one of their black leads and shoved him into a garbage can.
Yeah, and then shrunk his ass on
Like,
the poster,
they-
yeah.
They fucked up his story arc so bad that John Boyega was immediately like, "I'm done. I'm never working for Disney's projects again. I'm
Yeah.
not going back.
I remember
I'm
he
not-
said, you ain't Disney Plus and me.
He's not coming back to do
Yeah.
a fucking cameo as Finn. Like, if anyone's a racist here, why don't you ask why Disney shafted one of their black actors like that?"
He
Mhm.
became John Manega over the course of these movies.
Yeah, yeah. You guys. What do you guys think? Well, if Disney ever thinks about using Rey again, do you think they'll recast Finn or nah?
Well, no, they don't need to recast Finn. They can just not use Finn.
He's off helping old stormtroopers with with Lando's daughter or whatever that she was supposed to be.
They can just do
yeah.
what they did to the Asian chick.
Rose,
No,
yeah.
Rose Tico.
Rose
They'll get old
Tico.
footage of Finn from like deleted scenes and put him in the background, and Ray will be like, "Finn, do you want to come along?"
And-
He'll be like, "No, Ray." He'll be like, "Okay, never
then-
mind," and they
and
just cut
it's-
away, and he's done.
Yeah, just put him on a bus. Yeah.
It's just like that chef episode of South Park when the voice actor had already quit, so they just cycled in old lines to like make it work in the
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
And they just
Chef?
do that with Finn, like it's awkwardly jittered together lines. He's like, "No, Ray, I do not want to go." It's
Yeah.
like, "Okay, Finn, we'll leave then. Okay, Ray."
Disney's a shit show right now.
Also,
Anyway,
this whole reaction to Finn, it was one of those. It was one of the first examples of that BS where they will fish through thousands and thousands of comments. They'll find one that's racist or whatever, and they'll be like, "I can't believe Star Wars fans are so racist."
Yeah.
It's like, Guys, if you want to find a comment that says something, you're gonna find a comment that says something. It is not indicative of any larger movement, and it was recently used by the guy who makes the. He's making the game with the two girls that are in a story book, and it just came out, and the developer was like, "Oh, people are calling my game woke," and he found some comment with like 8 likes on a YouTube video with like thousands of comments, and it's had overwhelmingly positive Steam reviews. Like, there's been no review bombing by anybody, anything like that. And instead, it's like just to construct this fake narrative that somehow there's an anti-woke movement. It's like nobody even thinks that about your game. Why are you making this conflict that's fake?
Fucking hell.
And same thing happened with Finn, though. It's like, yeah, the Disney Star Wars fans, well, I should say just Star Wars fans in general, are not, they don't fucking care that he's black. You'll find a comment that'll say that, but that's not the thing.
Yeah.
Character had so much wasted potential. The idea of a story turning good was interesting. People were on board.
Oh yeah, that fucking hacker character. Nothing happened with him either.
Had a great opportunity, but did nothing with it.
Are we the baddies?
Does nobody
It's never been about
Phasma?
race, and I find it disgusting that this is what they're hiding behind to shield themselves from any sort of criticism. I can see why some people wouldn't feel comfortable calling it out, even though they know it's
that
wrong.
fight scene.
I have zero interest in ever watching this show, to be honest. I'm a casual Star Wars fan at best, and after seeing the likes of Critical Drinker and Nerdrotic shit all over it, I decided it's just not worth my time.
That is more entertaining than the show.
The profitability of the Disney Plus platform is immensely high, with its
Immensely high. It didn't turn a profit until one particular quarter, because they cooked the books enough to make it one time.
Yeah.
They themselves have reported this.
Sorry, can you replay like the last 5 seconds?
Yeah. So we'll go back 3 minutes.
Decided it's just not worth my time.
First off, the profitability of the Disney Plus platform is immensely high.
So he's saying that while underlying the first fucking line says it has finally become profitable.
Disney streaming business has finally become profitable. In its Q3 earnings results released on Wednesday, the company reported making $47 million off Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Oh, so not even Disney Plus. So he lumped in Hulu and ESPN Plus with that shit.
Okay, so first off, I am not an alcoholic. I have finally become sober.
Good for you, gal.
That's what are we talking?
Well, to get both sides of the spectrum, I am currently drinking root beer moonshine, and it makes just as much sense to me, which is exactly 0. But that's very good for you, actually. And but yeah, it doesn't make any sense because first of all, you're lumping together 3 separate streaming services into one and reporting 47 million, which I know sounds like a lot of money to any individual person, but for a company like Disney and a streaming platform that's absolutely like pebbles, that's nothing. So it's barely profitable, even lumping in other streaming services. That's reported in 2024, by the way. Looks like August 7, 2024.
Yep.
When that article is. And then the other thing that he underlines down there.
How many subscribers has Disney Plus lost in 2023? Disney Plus currently has 153.6 million paying subscribers worldwide. The streaming service lost 4.2 million paid subscribers during the past year, so March 2023 to March 2024.
So you're losing subscribers when you've been profitable 1 quarter.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. Especially when you're paying $350 million for Andor, or whatever the fuck it's going to be this quarter.
Yeah, the only way this can make sense is that the subscribers they still have are just paying more, and that just seems unlikely.
They made a streaming service. Well, one of the repeated attempts to get people on is to flood it with old releases of movies. The vast majority of people that are going to even go to Disney Plus probably already own on DVD or own on like anything else.
Own on VHS. I mean, I still own my Disney VHS tapes.
Like they made a big deal about how they were adding like the classic Disney films to the streaming site. It's like
and the old Netflix shows and the for Marvel, I mean.
Yeah.
And then the old Star Wars shit, they were like, and hey, this is back whenever I was still subbed. I was pretty excited when they
Man.
added the 03 Clone Wars, but I'm
Yeah.
not going to stay subbed to your fucking service for that.
I mean, fuck, I don't even need... Fuck, John, you don't even need to stay sub. You can just go on to WCOFun.net and watch literally any cartoon in the world on there.
Yeah. Well, I got DVDs for it because I like to have my hard copies. But
Uh-huh.
yes, you can also do that. And I think pretty sure it's on YouTube and stuff too. But yeah, it's like what I hate with these streaming services too, and the same thing happens with Game Pass or whatever, because that's like the Netflix of games, where people say, oh sure, this movie didn't make anything at the box office, or this game sold under 1 million copies or whatever, but it was super successful on this service. And it's like a bunch of people watched it whenever they didn't have to pay anything extra for it and they were already subbed. It's like that means literally nothing unless someone renewed a subscription or subscribed anew because of that particular thing. That thing did not make them money.
Yeah.
by them watching it on something you're already subbed to.
Isn't Disney didn't they just do all this shit? Like most people making these streaming services now, they're just trying to copy Amazon.
Oh, like trying to lump something else in with it, like Amazon style, where you get the 2-day shipping or whatever, and then
Well, that's what it feels like. The streaming service shit is just to ape the streaming stuff Amazon was doing, and now it's just like a trend that can't die, even when it's not going well for anybody.
It's not going well for them because it's like, Amazon, it's not going well for Disney because they keep making shit. The reason Amazon can keep their service running is because, Amazon, the Amazon Prime is just a side business for them. Amazon, as we all know, is mainly a freaking shipping company, first and foremost. It's a marketplace and a shipping company, pretty much.
Yeah, and Amazon's shows that they release on streaming are not the main draw to that service. They lump together 2-day shipping on their main site with the streaming, with being able to stream certain movies.
I was getting fucking advertisements for Rings of Power from using my Prime subscription because
you poor bastard.
They put ads for Rings of Power on the packaging.
Oh, yeah. Well, that, and they did start to add something for the video specifically, which is they started to, I think it was like $3 a month or something to avoid ads on their Amazon Prime shit. Which I didn't pay because I don't use it off. I watch it for Reacher and shit like that, but I mainly am just there because I get shit on Amazon, which I think is what most people on Prime are like. We're not going, oh gee, I'll take the 2-day shipping, but really I'm subscribed for this. It's more like I want the 2-day shipping and maybe I'll watch some movie. I guess I'm already subbed to it, so I'll go ahead and download your app,
Yeah.
153.6 million subscribers paying the fee of roughly $15.99 every month.
Hold on, what
meaning
is that?
that the service...
Hang on, John, go back. I missed that.
Well, he's doing it for you right now, the calculation.
They've been increasing their sub price.
How much is a Disney Plus subscription? The final cost of Disney Plus depends on whether you're willing to put up with the ads. Well, the ad-supported basic plan is $9.99 a month. Users can get an ad-free premium subscription for $15.99 a month or $159.99 a year. That said, Disney Plus offers some of the most flexible package deals of any streaming platform.
So did you guys hear what he said, though? Because he makes it out like all those 153 million are paying the $15.99, whereas we clearly see here, probably most people are paying the $9.99.
Yeah, because they're basic bitches.
Well, he's going to do his math based on this, I'm pretty sure. Let's see.
$59 every month, meaning that the service...
Yeah. He's doing $15.99 times all. I can guarantee you all 153 million are not paying for the premium shit. That's not true on Netflix or anywhere.
I'm gonna press X to doubt on that.
I guarantee you some people are getting their subscription through not paying anything.
And that's over a third less. So it's not some like $1 a month difference. Like we're going $16 a month to $10 a month. That's actually a fairly significant difference. If the majority are doing the $10 a month, which I'm pretty sure they are, then like, there's very few that I'll pay for I think I used to do that on Hulu. I do it on YouTube because I watch more YouTube than any of these fucking streaming services. Listen to that shit during work and everything. So, but that's literally free compared to $10 a month or whatever. So, yeah, that's some cooked books.
Yeah.
Service itself produces a return of about $2.5 billion on a monthly basis. But sure, $180 million for a single show is a massive loss for the company. Not to mention the
it costs money to maintain servers, you idiot.
Yeah.
And to have all these licensing fees for all this other shit. People always do this with Game Pass too. They act like it's all straight profit. It costs money to do everything with a streaming service. It's not free just because you own the shit.
Yeah.
recent news that Jude Law might be getting a spin-off show based on the Skeleton Crew, a show that hasn't even come out yet. The financial
this video's a bit
really
old.
hold much water here.
Well, it's okay. People have already forgotten about Skeleton Crew by the time we're watching it. So,
Yeah.
Even though Hello Greedo, it was his child's awakening into Star Wars that we haven't heard about since.
Oh, yeah.
Using
It was his
Lando
what?
and Mace Windu as a counterpoint to Star Wars fans having a racism problem is completely revisionist history. Here's an excerpt
totally
from
do.
the Birdman's video on this exact talking
Oh,
point.
not the Birdman.
Similarly, if these two characters were
they're
created
not
today,
gonna do
they would also be subject to racial epithets and harassment over
Wrong.
their inclusion.
Wrong.
Because of course,
Oh, my God.
I thought he was gonna go with what happened to the Jar Jar Binks actor.
Ahmed Best, yeah.
I didn't, which is also bullshit because it had nothing to do with his race. It was
And
the
he-
fact everybody hated Jar Jar.
And even then, Ahmed Best wasn't harassed by fans. He was harassed by, like, fucking media people and shit. Fucking paparazzis.
Yeah, remember that The Phantom Menace came out in 1999.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? The worst we could do is write a letter back then, and most people who they would call toxic today were literally children back then.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure there were no YouTube videos, considering it wasn't invented until like 2003 or 2005 or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, pretty sure that's been a complete revisionist history ever since.
Yeah.
But that was my point. My point was, if characters such as Lando Mace were introduced today, they would be poorly written. The rest of, well, yeah, probably. Judging by, I mean, that's not even exclusive to black characters. That's just characters in general. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, last time I checked, Ray wasn't black.
Yeah. What's his face? Man, I'm trying to think of a white male character now in Disney Star Wars because I'm sure that they were poorly written.
Hux is bad. Hux is bad as
There
all
you
right.
go. Absolutely. Yes, people give Hux all sorts of shit for his yo mama jokes that he's falling for.
Yeah,
and-
literally falling for, yeah. Speaking of mama, I'll be right back, guys. John, just keep it paused. Alright, folks, I am back. My steak dinner just got here, courtesy of Mom Cedar. So if you guys are watching this episode, please drop a happy birthday to Mom Cedar in the comments below.
Happy birthday, Mom Cedar.
Alright, John, we can continue now.
Just chew loudly into the mic, please.
Oh, nom 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 nom.
of course they would. And they were. These are Billy D's own words.
Nearly everywhere I went, fans harangued me for portraying Han Solo. I got dirty looks on airplanes. How could you? A flight attendant scolded. At the grocery store, a man shopping with
Wait,
his
is this his
teenage
actual
son
voice?
looked at me
No.
with disgust. I should put you in the deep freeze, he said, as his son nodded in agreement. The harshest reaction came
So this
on
has
the
nothing to
playground at
do
my
with
daughter's
him
school.
being black.
In the afternoon, as I waited in the courtyard to pick her up, parents scowled at me.
Yeah, all this has
Then
to do
after
with...
the bell rang,
Yo,
All this-
bro,
all this- all
your
this has to-
character's evil.
Well, no, not evil. He was forced to do evil
He's
stuff.
not
Well,
evil.
I know, but
I mean,
yeah,
there's-
he did
there's
some
a
evil shit. That's what
fucking-
people are mad about.
Yeah,
There's a fucking-
bro, it's all about what his
yeah.
character did. None of this has to do shit with the fact that he was black. What the hell are you on about, Birdman? I mean, like, if they just walked up and said, like, hey, Lando, you fucking N-word, then maybe you'd have a point, but none of this shit's happening. It's just like, yo, how the fuck could you betray Han Solo? He's the fucking G, man. You don't betray the fucking G.
Yeah. Like, is this
It's-
even?
It's about the same shit that Joffrey's actor got that made
Well,
him
that's-
retire from Game of Thrones. It's like, you
Well,
played.
he retired from TV acting altogether. He does theater
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a theater
That's
actor and a lawyer now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how this ends, but I feel like this literally has nothing to do with his race at all, and nothing that he's quoted has had anything to do with that.
Yeah.
So this is a poor illustration of a point.
Mm-hmm.
I got the same treatment from Hanako's friends. Mr. Williams, you sold out Han Solo. Why'd you do that? Now Han Solo's dead. It was laughable until it wasn't. Until I sensed the black-white thing might be brewing.
What?
Okay, that's
That's
him.
when I took a step back, put up my hands, and told people to wait a minute before they criticized me any further. I guess I had done a convincing job playing Lando as
Yes.
a dubious character.
Yes.
Okay,
So
now
why would the guy-
hold on a minute.
What the fuck?
Now hold on a minute. That's Billy D coming to that conclusion. Like legit. It's none of the fucking people saying it's like fuck you for being a black ass soul and like shit.
Yeah.
It's legit. Like that's legit what he came to in that. What the hell?
Like, dude, you were a scumbag in that movie. Yes. Like, yeah, the Joffrey example is exactly perfect because it's like, absolutely, anybody who gets that gets some weirdos who are going to say that. And honestly, most of that shit sounded playful. I'm going to put you in the deep freeze. Oh,
Yeah,
you killed
like-
Han Solo. Like, come on, dude.
You'll be sleeping with the fishes because of what you did. Like
Yeah.
Like okay, sure, pal. Okay, sure, pal.
I hope Vader forced you know, like you could say any sort of shit and it would still like, I don't know, that's just him being way too uptight about that shit
Yeah.
and just like taking everything in the worst possible, honestly weird way. Like
Legit.
none of that shit, none of his quotes had anything to do with race. And then he weirdly brings in, I couldn't help but think it might have been a black-white thing. It's like, what?
You know what, John? You know what that reminds me of, John? You ever seen Survivor?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it here or there. I'm not a big fan.
Okay,
but-
so in season 22, Redemption Island, often yes, more than 22 actually. In season 22, Redemption Island, one of the worst seasons of the show because of this one motherfucker, and that one motherfucker was Philip fucking Shepard. Just go watch fucking clips of this guy on YouTube and you'll see. But Philip Shepard basically got into an argument with his tribe, right, his team, and basically he was like, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Everyone's looking at me like I'm I'm crazy. I got these same looks back in the day because I was a young black man. It's like, where did this come from? Now, yes, Philip, you're a crazy man, but it's not because you're black. It's because you legit act crazy, Philip. Like legit, John, you need to fucking look up clips of this guy. He stalked around the fucking jungle in like pink underwear, hunting for fucking like snakes or whatever the hell. I can't remember what animal. He wore a fucking feather on his head. He like constantly talked about how like, oh, my ancestors are like these Native American Egyptian Maori motherfuckers or whatever the hell. It's like, what is this man? Ugh.
This is like if somebody saw one of my like fake shilling videos and they were like, I can't believe what a fucking shill you are. And I'd be like, wow, racism.
Yeah.
It's like...
Also, the meats at the temp I like. Nice. Anyway.
Very good. Medium rare, I hope.
Yeah, like a thumbprint worth of pink, yeah.
You're attempting to use as a shield from accusations of racism also suggest he received racist backlash for simply playing a character in a movie.
Based on nothing.
The only people who claimed there was no racism or misogyny in Star Wars until recently were all simply too young or oblivious to the fact that it has been happening all along. Or, more likely, they are racists hiding behind being obtuse to shield themselves from being called out.
Oh, come
Thirdly,
on, man.
You cite
Being obtuse, aka presenting direct evidence that counters your point.
Yeah.
I would say, you, sir, Mr. Gentleman Penguin, are being the obtuse one.
Yes.
Also,
no, that's not being obtuse. That's being dense.
Yeah. And coming to a conclusion before you even look at any of the facts, and then trying to pigeonhole all that into it. Square peg, round hole.
Yes.
Oh, God. He's obsessed with that.
critical drinker and nerderotic? You mean this nerderotic?
Judge a book by its cover, judge a YouTuber by their thumbnail.
Something
You mean this guy
wrong?
here, called Nerderotic? I wouldn't trust the takes of someone where the shoe of bigotry fits so well he might as well be the shoe salesman, especially when the topic in question is racism.
So he made the Asian joke. You realize he employs multiple Asian people and that they make 10 times worse jokes about cooking dogs and shit constantly. And hit gongs and everything. You know why? Because they're not so fucking uptight about this as you and actually like live relaxed, happy lives.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the drinker? Yeah, he goes to the same cobbler. Let us continue.
I watched
How dare he point it out?
Amanda Stenberg put out to the haters, and oh my god, do I have a lot of thoughts. So although you're not going to see me review bombing The Acolyte, I will be talking about Amanda Stenberg, as I do think she is a genuine bigot who is projecting her own racist tendencies. This 3-minute and 42-second video is the entire reason why I even go by this channel name. I am so sick and tired of this bullshit and wanted to call it out. First of all, her hair has been brushed out to fuck to make it look coarser, like a 4C type afro instead of the
I was actually going to say how fucking stupid her hair looks.
Yeah.
see hair type she naturally has as a mixed race woman. I know this because I have this. She's putting in so much effort to look blacker because she has a white Danish father and wants to pretend that's not the case.
Yeah.
I also think that's why the video isn't in color, because she's light skinned and wants to present herself as darker.
Did she just unironically claim that calling out racism is actually racist?
No.
And then go on.
No, incorrectly calling something racism is racist.
Yeah.
This is the same attitude that pervades so much shit, and that is that the offended party is always right and every accusation is correct.
Yes.
It's like, no, she just... And also, Mr. Gentleman Penguin, I know you're not going to show your actual face, but I'm willing to bet that you are not a mixed race woman, as this video creator that you're criticizing and, at least alluding to being racist is.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm. I am willing to bet good money that this man does subscribe to the school of thought that if you're going to freaking call out, people for talking about shit relating to black people, then you have to be black yourself, pretty much. I am willing to bet he subscribes to that school of thought. Oh wait, no, Falcon. He is mixed race. He's black and white. Look right there. He's even got a little bit of yellow in him. He is mixed race. He's triple mixed race. Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. So I guess he can call all this shit out. Yeah. Anyway.
On to surface level criticize Amandla in a completely racist and sexist manner. You cannot even make this shit up. If I wrote a story and had a character behave this way, it would be panned for being unrealistic and over the top. Every single sentence that this YouTuber just uttered is a case study of racism and sexism. It's the typical projectionism
Really?
of she's being over
Every single sentence. You heard it here first, folks.
Well, case
the top
closed, I
for the
guess.
sake of garnering attention and to prove how virtuous she is. Ah yes, critical diverse female calling out another woman for virtue signaling. It can't be that Amandla chose this hairstyle and to record this video in black and white for aesthetic reasons, can it? No, it has to have been for insidious reasons, because a critical, diverse female said so. This is essentially being offended at another person for being a part of a particular culture and willingly expressing themselves as a member. The only thing missing here for this to be a full...
No, it's playing up the stereotypes of that culture is what she was calling her out for.
Yes.
It's not that she's expressing herself genuinely. It's the exact opposite. She's saying it's not genuine.
You're not Pam Grier, Amandla. Sit down.
Yeah.
Snowflake moment is a screeching level rant. But I suppose our favorite YouTuber already did that.
Hi, ass.
I'm going to skip ahead a little. The Hunger Games rant, which had little...
Anyone heard of
nothing to do
Starfield
with the
recently?
drama of
Yeah, I
today,
thought so.
Other than Amandla being cast in it. Seriously, this is the first I've heard anyone compare the two in this context.
But regardless, it's still a really upsetting thing to go through at 13, 14 years old. To literally be told if you were to die, it would mean less. And it kind of makes me understand a bit more
hang
how
on,
we
John,
got into
pause.
the Amandla of today.
So the shit he skipped over was she basically summed up a bunch of stuff that she went through and she got cast to play Prue in the Hunger Games. So apparently, a good number of people and critical diverse lady here actually showed like a bunch of evidence pertaining to this. Apparently, Amandla got a bunch of shit from people who read the Hunger Games books who were outraged because they thought that Prue was race bent when in reality she wasn't. Prue was described as being dark skinned in the books. A lot of people just thought she was white because Katniss compared her to her younger sister. I can't remember her name, but yeah, she compared her to her younger sister. So they thought, oh, well, Katniss is white. So if she's like Katniss's younger sister, then Prue must be white herself. But other than that, they got it wrong. So Amandla got some flack for that. And remember, she was like really young when those movies were made, when she was in those movies. And she basically saying like, oh, it affected her development, and that more or less explains her behavior with the Acolyte. That's more or less what she went over.
Also, half the comments are obviously horrible, and there's some nasty words there I can't repeat, but like, look at the one on the left. It's like, I reread the bit where Rue and Katniss talking about being Imagine, Rue being white, and it seemed better, meh.
Mm-hmm.
That's hardly like racist or extreme in any way. It's just like they literally say meh at the end. Like they clearly aren't violently against this, and then you shouldn't take that as a hateful comment. I don't see how you even could. It's just like, oh, I imagine this differently in my head. Yeah, and that's pretty true. Henry Cavill touched on that whenever he was talking about like, oh, it's different than how fans imagined it, and sometimes they'll be mad. They're not even mad there, but. And like even this one person says, I pictured them as having darker skin, not necessarily black, but whatever. Like a lot of these, there's only like a third of these are actually extreme, and then and goes back to what I said before. It's like you can find an extremist comment, I'm sure, especially I always bring it back to this, and I forget what person I heard this from first. It's like assume 1 out of every 1,000 people is crazy in some way. If you have a fan base of millions, you're going to have thousands of crazy people. Like it's the law of averages at a certain point.
Yeah.
You sort of just have to look at likes and dislikes. You have to look at all the positive stuff that completely overrides the negative in this instance. There will be assholes. There will be horrible people. It's going to happen in a big enough group.
Yeah. Again, John, building off what John says again, like how much of this like really like was a part of the discourse regarding the Hunger Games movie? Like honestly, let's just ask ourselves. Like I am willing to bet good fucking money that this wasn't super duper serious in the grand scheme of things.
All of those in theaters, and I never once heard of this criticism before this exact moment. Like, and I live in Bumblefuck, PA, where there's a lot more racist people than usual, than in average, I should say. And I never once heard anybody make this complaint. So it's pretty rare. I'm going to say that this is a niche of a niche.
Yeah.
And maybe it was amplified or whatever on the internet, but she needs to brush these people off as a crazy fringe, and her parents should have told her that if she saw any of this.
Yeah.
Day, who is so angry and hates white people, even though she's half white herself.
Yep, while literally showing that people were throwing the N-word at Amandla publicly, continues to question the legitimacy of them having issues with white people, and framing the whole situation as an issue of self-hatred rather than a response to actual racism running rampant in media discourse, where it does not belong. Well, racism belongs nowhere, but I digress. Obviously, she would take issue with any large group of people being racist towards them. To even attempt to redirect it in this manner is blatant victim blaming. This whole video has a common theme throughout.
No, it's never victim blaming. It's questioning whether you're a victim at all and not just inherently accepting that.
Yeah.
I always hate the assumption that somebody's a victim just because they think they are.
Uh-huh.
I'm a ginger. I could claim to be a victim on any number of issues. Especially being swapped out for black people all the time.
Yeah. I'm the biggest victim of all because I'm the smallest minority and I'm the most oppressed minority of all.
Which is?
I'm an adult who can't drive.
Oh. Wow. Like on the golf course, you can't hit a drive. Damn.
Yes, exactly, John. Yes, yes.
That would actually be a majority. Nobody can hit a fucking drive. And we all get frustrated.
Yeah. Anyway.
About it. It's trying to paint Amandla as the real antagonist in this drama, with a consistent effort to minimize the attacks they were receiving and reframing their responses to seem hateful by spreading disinformation. Case and point.
Few things are directly aimed at Amandla, but none to do with her race. And the difference now is these are all after she's put out a diss track saying white people crying was a goal. So you're gonna get some mean comments in response. Right, back to the video.
No, that quote isn't originally from the diss track. It was said 6 years ago in an interview for the movie she was starring in called The Hate You Give.
Well, I mean, white people crying actually was the goal.
That wasn't that funny,
This film is
Trevor.
about empathy and racism. You know, white people crying from empathy is the goal. On top of this, The Acolyte was already being targeted by a well-documented hate campaign before it came out.
Predicting that something is going to be shit is not a hate campaign.
No. Star Wars The Acolyte episodes have been routinely review bombed before airing as fans cry that it's woke and feminist. Criticism about the lore, which is often based on... Oh my fucking Christ. On the good expanded universe references anyway, are constantly used to try and prove that showrunner Leslie Headland isn't a fan. Well, she wasn't. If she was, she wouldn't have portrayed the Jedi in such a bad way, at least. She very clearly is. No, she isn't. But the fact that she championed for a diverse cast and brought outsider perspectives into the show upset a fandom so enraptured by its own gatekeeping.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I love how he takes everything that this says without any sort of question, but will question every minute of this woman's response.
Yes.
The diss track that you, critical diverse female, are claiming to be responding to was released in response to this hate campaign. You can even see the subtitles to the song in your video showing that she's...
What was that?
Hate campaigns, troll farms, Russian bots,
Yeah.
works.
You can always say it's in response. Like, you could say that review bombing is in response to shit Disney Star Wars for a better part of a decade at the time.
Yeah. Also, there's a very good chance that critical diverse lady never even heard of The Hate You Give.
Yeah, I mean, you see that interview. It doesn't really matter if it's pertaining to this exact project. It shows her attitude towards these things.
Yes. Yes.
And unless she's willing to rebuke that or apologize for that or something that shows that she has changed course in some way, she still has that attitude. And I doubt that she would.
Yes.
So it's kind of like what we were talking about at the beginning with the, if Kathleen Kennedy left, it doesn't mean anything's going to change unless they rebuke what she did, and they're not going to do that.
Nope.
So it's like, come on.
Said it in the past, not present. People dug up this quote from 6 years ago in an effort to find an excuse to hide behind while harassing Amandla. Seriously, you are just feigning being obtuse here, considering the great lengths we
Really likes that word.
this video to let everyone know how little interest you had in the show. Guys, really, I didn't care for this show at all. I'm only here to talk about the diss track. And then proceed to shift away from the diss track at every turn. I mean, seriously, what do you think Amandla was dissing exactly? And don't give me the poorly construed talking point of, she was attacking the fans, or people aren't allowed to criticize the show. If you say these things in response to racism or any other form of bigotry being called out, then you are just simply...
No, she was trying to make all criticism about bigotry. She was trying to mischaracterize all the criticism as, racially motivated or anything. And she was trying to argue that she's basically saying the show's great. People only don't like it because women and black people. And that's not true. And that's what this woman is calling out. That's not why people hated it. People have liked plenty of black things. People have liked plenty of women things. People have liked plenty of Star Wars things.
Yep.
You trying to pigeonhole all criticism as this shit is not accepted because it's not true.
No.
So he's always trying. He's just with the assumption that she is the victim. That's all he's operating off of.
Mhm. Yep.
Self-reporting. Those who have actual criticisms of the show wouldn't be affected by this if their criticisms were not racially motivated. This goes for any show, mind you, like The Rings of Power or Agatha All Along. If your criticism comes from a place of bigoted bias, then you aren't criticizing media, you are spreading your hate of others from behind the mask of veiled racism.
Her voice is very strange in this. It sounds like she's trying to do ASMR rap.
I said, white people cry. What's the call?
I actually like the old school vibes of the beat, but everything else about it is terrible. The message is so hateful and condescending, like the line where she says about how the one thing white people can take from this is empathy. But when you're poking at people and berating them, how can you expect to receive anything but ridicule? I think this actually says a lot about how wholesome the Star Wars fans are compared to the Hunger Games, because even when she made it about race, they didn't.
And at last, after more than half of the video, we finally hear a direct quote from Amanda's diss track. You know, the thing we are responding to and definitely aren't using as a foil for misguided projections. For instance,
Speaking of misguided projections.
Ayo! Ba-dum, psh.
Oh, man. I love how he immediately says, like, oh, criticism will be taken fine. As long as it's not veiled racism and sexism. Well, the problem is that you decide that everything is veiled racism and sexism, no matter what the criticism is. People talk about the rating and you say, oh, you're only saying that because she's black. You're only saying that because she's a woman. And it's like, well, everything is going to be veiled racism and sexism to you if you just decide to skew everything into that perspective. And so she is addressing all criticism. You just choose to take everything from Nerdrotic or Critical Drinker or whatever, and it can even have racial elements to it if that's what the showrunners are feeding into, but that doesn't mean that their criticism is racist.
Mhm.
He's a pompous. Well, he's living up to his name. If gentleman is a pejorative for like
Yes.
stuck up ass,
Yeah.
stick that cane up your ass.
saying Amanda is the one who made it about race, when consistently, whenever there is a person of color or woman featured in a prominent role in any Star Wars media, it gets lambasted with hatred before it's even come out. Like Moses Ingram, Ahmed Best, Amandla Stenberg, obviously.
Oh, he
John
brought up
Boyega.
Ahmed Best.
Shocker, I know, but also...
Oh, wait a minute. Is he saying the only thing that people didn't like about Kenobi was Moses Ingram? Is he saying the only thing that people didn't like about the sequels was John Boyega?
I mean, the only thing people didn't like about Moses Ingram and Kenobi was that she overacted as Reva. Most of the criticism
wasn't
for
a very
Reva was regarding
actress.
what they. Well, yeah, she wasn't a very good actress. No, she's just she's like fucking
So
Leslie.
Reva was
She's
bullshit.
like, yeah, she's like they fucking got her doing like that Leslie Jones shit where she just screams every line she has.
My favorite criticism, or my favorite line from that, tell me where the
Jedi is, or this man dies. And like, yeah, and fucking like, hell, and yeah, and fucking like John Boy, and again, my guy, it's like people wanted to like John Boyega in the sequel trilogy. Like they didn't go in like, oh, there's a little black guy, better fucking hate his ass. It's like, no, my guy, it's like John Boyega.
They completely fucking gave him nothing to do. after
John
the
Boyega is like one of the three actors from the sequel trilogy that people walked away liking, not because of his character, but because like they sympathized with him. It's like, yeah, it's bullshit. They sidelined you so fucking badly, So yeah.
Backseat, just one more minute. I'm just gonna go grab a can real quick. So if you guys just talk for like 10 seconds.
All right, I'll pause it, and we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it sounded like you guys were still going there, so I was just kind of interjecting to say, like, in case you asked me to unpause.
Nah.
I was just grabbing a can of something real quick. All right. But yeah, Yeah, he hasn't made very many good points other than just he assumes in the opposite direction that he says that she's assuming.
Yeah.
Kind of a funny point because he's just demonstrating hypocrisy at every turn. Oh, yeah. And he's ignoring all of the criticisms against all the white men and all the white people in general.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like, he acts like movie criticism started whenever with black people.
Yeah. No.
It's just like, he ignores everything else.
Yes.
Yes, the list goes on and on. But I'm sure that is just a coincidence and has nothing to do with race, right? On top of you being the one to hit Amandla with a series of surface-level critiques right out the gates of this very video. Once you actually started your response proper, that is. I'm going to skip another brief segment about anecdotal issues some people have had with the sequels and the Disney era, but you've already heard it all before.
Moving on, her dance is very strange. It's like something a TikTok influencer would do. If I saw this on the street, I'd be sending that straight to Joey Tunes. It's also interesting how she seems to be in a poor neighborhood doing her little dance with her fake afro, when if you look into her background, she came from money. Her dad's money, to be precise, which was able to fund her child acting career, her mum's activism, and I'm sure many other things. The hypocrisy is so obvious, and everyone can see how uptouched she is. It's giving modern-day J-Lo trying to identify as poor when you're actually...
Oh look, more projectionism. What a surprise!
Is projectionism even a fucking word?
I don't know, but even that's
I think
not
it's just projection.
That's not a projection. That's a comparison, you dumbass.
Yeah, a very apt one actually.
Yeah.
Because a lot of fucking affluent, privileged people who want to be in the party in politics, or the class of like, oh, I am with you, oppressed people. They want to paint themselves as something that they are not.
Yeah, it's nothing out of the ordinary for fucking celebrities to put on a freaking working class appearance when they're rich as shit. You know what I'm saying?
Also, projection makes no sense here.
Yeah,
because
hang on, John. Hang on.
Go ahead.
Unless you actively choose to live that way, like Lemmy Kilmister, then it's all fucking bullshit. Anyway, Johnny, what were we gonna say?
Well, he's calling it projection. Projection is whenever you're living the thing that you're accusing others of. He doesn't know what this YouTuber's wealth level is. He doesn't know what this YouTuber's background is. So for him to use projection in this instance he just doesn't even know the meaning of the fucking word, I feel like, because she's saying that Amandla came from a very rich background, an affluent background, and is a sort of a Nepo baby. And I'm assuming that this YouTuber probably wasn't as rich as Amandla, but who fucking cares? It would still be apt even if she's in the exact same circumstances.
Yeah.
It just literally makes no sense to use that word here.
Yeah. I'm just your average homeboy. Anyway, John, we can continue.
But hey, at least you actually talked about the video you claim to be responding to.
Again.
For all of 10 seconds before going back at it with the veiled racism. Just like before with the stylistic choices Amandla made for themselves, the area the diss track was filmed in was probably chosen due to aesthetic reasons. Love how there was a random citation thrown in there after her father's money about her mother's activism. It was absolutely necessary to point that one out and then follow it up with a pretending to be poor to seem relatable form of rhetoric. This is what can only be described as virtue signaling by pointing out how others are virtue signaling. And I'm totally not like them, see? I'm better because I can point the finger at the bad example.
She never
those who share my ethnicity.
She never said anything about herself. So that's just blatantly not true. She was talking about Amandla like you have wanted. She's sticking to the subject of the video.
Yeah, and going on his aesthetic stuff for a minute here, like, my guy, okay, let me ask you this, my guy, why exactly did she choose that aesthetic?
He responds to everything. He responded to the afro thing with, "It's just aesthetics." Like that's a vague response, and he doesn't elaborate on it any further. Because he knows that it's BS.
Like, why couldn't she have gone with like, I don't know, like a sci-fi aesthetic for this, or friggin' like a glam rap aesthetic, you know, oh yeah, mansions, gold necklaces, cars. Like she could have gone with that. That still would have been a hip hop song by that point. But no, she chose the gangster rap where it's like everyone's poor, everyone's in a fucking ghetto, everyone's pants are drooping. So like, yeah. Anyway. I came across like this guy on the. I was on the bus, right, and I was with this guy on the bus, and this guy, his pants were drooping. I was about ready to take my belt off and give it to him. I was like, "You need." It's like you need this more than me, good sir.
What was that guy?
I've seen that to the absolute extreme, where it's literally just hanging by their knees and they have one hand out, keeping it up.
If you want to turn up your mic just a little bit, or if you have the gain or something, you can turn it up. I don't know.
Did I mess something up? Oh,
it's just a little quiet. No, I can still hear you, but just if you can turn up the gain a little bit.
John, you can turn up his user volume by right-clicking on him.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to turn the gain up on this thing.
Sorry, everybody. We have to account for Simple John here.
I am a simpleton as far as
he's a simple
Discord. Discord. Don't fuck with my Discord.
Yeah.
It's very apt as far as the video that we're watching.
Yeah.
Let's see. General. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Is this it?
It's like you go to the screen where we're watching everything, where like you're sharing. It's like you go to the VC screen, you click on Gao's icon, and there should be like a bar. It's like it says user volume. Just drag it all the way to the right.
Okay. Let's see.
All right, hold on, everybody. Hang on, everybody. I gotta help John out here. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, John, let's continue with the video.
Simple John got it. We only got 3 minutes left.
Yep, 30 minutes. Let's go.
Giving SJW vibes from 10 years ago, saying, I hate white people too. Just clown takes all around. Next.
Also, from reading into the things she's been saying throughout her years in the limelight, she seems like the type of person who'll say white people can't have braids, but then will straighten her hair and dye it blonde. Oh wait, she has. Just as a disclaimer, I don't care what she does with her appearance, it's just she seems to care a lot about what others do.
Oh no. Oh.
What?
Yup. After spending all this time surface level critiquing Amandla and starting it out with pointing out her hairstyle being fake black aesthetic, the least self-aware thing to say would be exactly...
I'm sorry, does he have any refuting of that point?
I think he's doing it right now.
That which was just said by critical, diverse female. Wow. Just... wow. This lacking level of self-awareness is the equivalent of actively avoiding looking at oneself in the mirror and then criticizing anyone for not having cleaned their face. I don't know how many times that I've said it by now, but this is all just pure projectionism. Egregiously so.
How?
I do.
Okay, but she talked about her hairstyle. You said that was done for aesthetic reasons. She talked about the neighborhood. You said that was done for aesthetic reasons. You haven't actually responded to any of this shit. All you've said is that it's projectionism, which isn't even a fucking word.
Let me ask you, Penguin, what in this video isn't for aesthetic purposes? I just want to be clear here with you. What in this video isn't for aesthetic purposes?
Yeah. I mean, he's a fucking white dude. He can't refute it any other way, so he just says that she's projecting. But again, the same thing with the background thing. Does critical diverse female go around with a big afro? Does critical diverse female film her shit in an inner city? No. Well, I mean, she doesn't show any of where she films it. So it's like, that it literally just doesn't apply here. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't know, man.
You're saying it's projection when she's not demonstrating any of the things that she's criticizing, which would be projection.
Yeah.
If she were doing all these things and then she criticized Amandla for it, that would be projection.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I
I
fucking
genuinely feel
bay.
sorry for Amanda. She's clearly in a bit of an echo chamber, and that experience has created a
Yeah.
monster who seems to hate half her own genetics.
meh.
As a mixed race
Yeah.
person who's dealt with her own identity struggles, I can empathize. However,
Yeah.
if you're half white, you can't be racist to white people and only identify as black person. It's like you're punching yourself in the face with one arm and patting
Good
yourself
clip.
on the back with the other.
For this final clip, all I can say is that you haven't shown the slightest bit of empathy towards Amandla throughout your
Are you
entire
fucking
video.
kidding
She
me?
literally just did.
Are you fucking kidding me, my guy? Oh my god.
She's more capable of showing empathy than you because you're trying to defend Amandla from a completely outsider perspective and completely discounting with no actual factual refutation to an actual half-black woman.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Curious. Anyway.
Moments of sympathy, brief as they were. Instead, you elected to downplay everything about this situation that could offer any amount of empathy towards Amandla, and overemphasized the possibility that she might be, from a certain point of view, racist. Unfortunately, that call is coming from inside the building. Almost everything stated about Amandla hating her own white ethnicity could, from watching this video, be applied to critical diverse female.
Where has she shown that she hates her white heritage? Yeah, exactly.
I watched the whole video, including the parts he cut out, and she doesn't show that like anywhere. What the fuck is going on with this?
She hasn't shown any hate for any part of her heritage from what I've seen, and this is what he's curated and shown. Like, she's not showing any hate towards anybody.
And again, I've seen the whole video. She hasn't done she literally doesn't in the whole video. And so, Mr. Penguin, if you're watching this video, please make a response to this and tell us where in hers it was. Go ahead, balls in your court.
I'm just a penguin. I don't know.
She is constantly trying to flip everything around and make Amandla out to be a bad example of a black person, or at the very least,
No.
mixed,
No.
with how she constantly makes things up about the subject and repeating bad faith arguments made by the grifters that critical diverse female cited herself at the start of her video.
Really?
To give you some
I haven't heard, I'll be honest, I've watched those people that she referenced. They haven't made this.
All right, everybody, we apologize for that. We ran into technical difficulties. Anyways, John, continue the point you were making.
Yeah, I mean, basically that he's completely projecting because, she hasn't given anything about her background or anything like that. And nothing that he can really point out as projection because he doesn't know where the fuck she came from or anything. And he doesn't sound like he can actually refute that point from any point of insider knowledge.
No.
Yeah. So we got, 37 seconds left? We'll see what the hell he's got to say here.
projectionism of my own, you probably don't have many non-white friends and are living in an echo chamber
How the
protected
fuck
by
do
the
you know
privilege
that?
afforded by those around
Wow.
you. Your goal with
My
this
guy,
video
my
is
guy.
clearly just
What the fuck? My
Oh,
guy.
damn. She's got 6,000 subscribers and she's got 350,000 views. He's so fucking jealous right now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. What a sore loser.
Holy shit. She's got about 50% more subs than me, and she's got, holy fuck, like a successful video of mine got like 10K views. Holy, congratulations, critical diverse female. Unlike this penguin gentleman, I will not be a racist sexist, and I will actually applaud your accomplishment.
Yeah.
Good job.
This guy's a piece of shit. My God, man. All this.
You are have projectionism.
Yes. Gentleman Penguin, you have projectionism. See a doctor for that.
I'm actually just Googling this word right now.
Oh, yeah? Is it a word?
Projectionism is a philosophical theory that the people that people form ideas of the world by projecting their own beliefs onto it. Oh, look, it is a word. I don't think it's how he's using it, though,
I don't-
because he seems to be using it in the context of projection.
Yes.
It's also a psychological defense mechanism where people attribute their own unacceptable urges to others. Oh, that might be what he's doing.
Maybe,
Oof.
yeah, that's what he's doing to fucking CDF here, yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, damn, I might have to go sub to her after this,
Yeah.
though. So I thank the penguin for this
Yeah.
recommendation.
Anyway, moving on.
Just to start a career in grifting with yourself, with how you just made a
Grifting!
Twitter account for this channel right after this very video was uploaded. And of course, among the first people you decide to follow are some of the well-known grifters off this platform.
Oh, you've decided that everybody's grifters who you disagree with. Okay, got you.
I mean,
If people make money off of things that I agree with, and they are clearly wholesome, genuine, and completely justified in whatever support they get, if people disagree with me, that means they're all grifters.
yes.
That seems to be the basic argument for most of these people.
Mm-hmm.
Astonishing. Yeah, I'm done with this. There is nothing more to be said about it that I haven't already. Except for, yeah, clown!
Look
What?
who's talking.
Okay.
Well, I learned nothing.
We
so-
accomplished nothing here, folks. Well, John, thanks for showing. Well, John, thanks for showing up for your first Backseat Boys episode. Gal, what did you get out of this?
That don't believe birds that dress up like the British.
Yes.
A
John.
reminder that the penguin is a villain,
Mhm.
and we probably should take this man's word as seriously as that villain's.
Yes. All right. Well, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up, comment below what you thought of it, subscribe for more videos like this, give Mom Cedar a happy birthday in the comments, and also comment below if the audio mixing was good. I'm genuinely trying to fix that stuff, and we'll see you guys next time in the backseat. Take care.
Meow, meow, meow.